So I'm going to be sharing now some transitions. We just had the chance today with this amazing group here at Style Academy to do a nice long kind of a flowy type of look. A lot of texturizing that we did today, as well as techniques which were channeling and veiling. And right now we want to show a transition from this look, which looks so great even on a mannequin, to something that's a little bit trendier and shorter. So what we'll do is we can come over on the other side too if you have to see from the back here. You might need to see from the back because you won't be able to see quite in you know this is. So taking this up and putting it down. So from any of the looks that we've done, like right now, we sort of transitioned this whole look into longer hair, right? So like we said, in architecture, how you look at buildings and you'll see the different elements of it. But like when you're building something, you're not necessarily looking at the whole thing. You're going step by step. So the same thing, we're starting in our foundation in the back. And this is where we're going to change this up quite a bit. So a couple options that we have that we've went through is that, you have your ability to project the hair if you want. But this way I'm going to do a chip over comb. So we're still going to use our shears, but I'm going to remove a significant amount of weight from this now. Okay, here we go. It's gone. Yeah. Oh. So we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen. But the beauty with this is...
It's like a Chanel cut.
Yeah. Yes, it's just like Chanel's hair. So now I'm going to elevate it out and do a little bit of chipping into it. So much the same way that we would do a normal traditional layer in this back, let's say a moderate elevation. I'm going to be here just doing this scissor over comb. There'll be chip over comb as it would be. Now, much faster doing that, but when you look at it, it's basically that elevation that we're still getting there, right? So we could have done it either way. It's just looking at a way that's a little bit faster. Just need to grab this one piece into this whole array of hair. Then I'll take, so it's a 13-point texture blade. I'm going to go on vertically. So then from that, now what I do is I drop this down. So the whole section comes down. And then from this section, we're going to be looking at it back here and taking this back, determining where our length point is. And then much how we did that same veiling technique, now we're going to be elevating this up and we're doing a little bit more significant removal.
I was going to volunteer myself for this cut.
Huh?
I was going to volunteer myself.
You were, no, I'll still we have some time. I can still cut yours, but not doing this.
Yeah.
Not at all. Nope, not doing this one. I love the long hair. So then we're still going to leave these outside perimeters long right now. Elevating this up. Well, it is, but we've done so. The precision is done wet. The textural part is done dry. And again, part of this idea is that when we're working with the hair, it's got three views, right? One is what you see without touching it. Second is you touch without seeing. And a third is touch and see at the same time. So you need those three views to know how it's going to respond and how it feels and how it looks. Because too often we feel like there's this template. There isn't a template when you're doing hair. There's an idea and we take it into those sections. So we have this back section is one thing. So we're just worrying about this back section right now. This is exactly the same as the long hair we just spent the day doing. but now I'm showing this transition, but yet if you saw this originally, you would never think the two are the same. So that's why I love showing you from that to this, because then you look at it and go like, wow, that's, okay, now I can see how I can use this, like on Shnoa's hair. You could actually do these techniques now, but you don't necessarily see it initially.
Yeah, because it's legit Shnoa's hair.
It's legit, yeah, it is her hair.
It's gotta put some colors in it now.
And then in here, I'll elevate this back and then bring it down. So we're keeping that length in throughout this front area. Same thing over here. We'll have to backhand it in. That's the great thing about these techniques, is that when you have that foundation and technique and the texturizing and how you're going to be doing it, you can apply it to absolutely anything that you're doing, and it just works so much better.
Yeah.
So what are some of the takeaways that you got today with the cuts that we did? Or
How to thin properly.
how to texturize. So understand there's a difference between thinning and texturizing.
Yeah, texturize.
So thinning, so essentially you're doing the same thing, but thinning is unactivated texture.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking to guests about it, now I'm coming from underneath with the 13 point again, elevating up, going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Same idea that you show me, right? Same idea, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But it gives that shape, and then it just tucks it in really nicely in throughout the sides. Make sure the mannequin doesn't move. In through here, I'm going to take the same idea with that heavier blade. 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe one more under this side. So you can just see how it totally changes how that looks. Same idea. Hello. Good, and we're doing a Facebook Live. Right here, yeah, I know.
So you're on Candid Camera?
No, you're not. So then we've got that in there. And then in this front area, what we're going to do is we're going to take this over, center side part across. But I want to take back across, outside corner of the eye. Bring it across. And then we'll use our regular shears. So I want to shorten this up now. Yeah, I love them. They're 5. They're an offset 5. So they're not super long, but they're really narrow. So they have the ability to do a lot of the detail work really nicely. So in, underneath. And again, this is on mannequin hair, so you can imagine how nicely it works. We're actually working on live hair, and you've got the different textures that you can place into it. And then we'll just do a little bit of this here. Just drawing it forward with a little bit of texture blades. And then same thing on this side. So one of the things I recommend that you add to your tools is the 13-point texture blade, right? And then one of the last points we do is we take, and it's like a starfish, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So taking 5 pieces. We're going to elevate this up and out. And we're going to just texturize this shorter. And the reason, again, that odd number is because then it gives those pieces when they drop down. So on the long hair, in the book that I have with that model that we did, that one was done in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. Her hair, we took several of them and did the same thing, but it's long hair. So if we're doing a traditional layer and long hair, we can take, has to always be an odd number. And you can take those up, and then you can add this layer point, really a heavy layer point in with the long hair. And then the last part, we'll do just a little bit more of that texturizing, where you're just doing it a little bit closer down. And again, we're not doing anything different to this mannequin. We're not adding more, we're not using any different tools, any different techniques than we did from the longer hair. But you can see how now you can connect these looks together. And if you want to have even a little more fun with it, instead on the one side of having it even and balanced, take this one side, open it around the ear, elevating this out. And then what we'll do is we'll just create a little bit of an asymmetric kind of a look to it. Still keeping the softness in it. You know, notice today, with all the techniques that we've been sharing, like there's no straight, there's no hard lines in anything. It's all soft. Everything is soft. And if we do that, then we're going to need this to be just that little bit softer in here. Whoops, back to the 13 point. Just about lost those in midair. And we could even open this up just a little bit more in here, I think. Huh? Hey, it could be. Well, wait until you see the side. You might not think that. So you've got that change, right? And so now you've got that, again, different look. And it's that transition of the two looks. Same technique so that we've shared with the long hair, same idea. So if I showed you this originally from what we started, you would never connect the two things, right? So now you can see how we can get from a nice long style that you've got where it's, you know, has that nice flow to it, to something completely different, much softer, completely different look. And there you go. Hope you had fun with that. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Thanks for everyone tuning in.